Hey everyone, welcome back to Rebel Yell Rising. This is Jean with your weekly reading for August 20th to August 26th. So in an effort to save more time, again, I already pulled the one card that you could see up there. That's the theme for the week. And I pulled that from the Mermaids and Dolphins Oracle deck by Doreen Virtue. And it's synchronicity. Your prayers and questions are being answered by synchronistic events. Notice them in order to increase their flow. So as I was sort of meditating, as I was sort of praying, and I usually try to start this actually a couple days prior to doing the reading, right? To get a sense of the feeling of the energy. And it's almost as if there was nothing coming through. There was an energy there, but there was no specific feeling to it. I couldn't put a name to it. And then clean slate came through. And I liken it to sort of the moment when a child is born, that very brief moment that the child enters the world but has yet to cry, right? Or there is a very brief moment, right? And that's, I feel, what this week is. It might even continue, I'm not really sure, but that's kind of the energy that was coming through. This is sort of a week for us to recognize, before maybe we start taking action, to sort of recognize the signs and the messages that are occurring all around us, so that we could then take appropriate action in a certain direction based off of the nudges we're getting from heaven, right? So the first Archangel Michael card is your inner guidance is real and trustworthy. Now, that's what I love about these cards, is they're very straightforward and very direct. Again, another reason why I thought they would be beautiful to use this week, where it seems it's kind of like very quiet energetically. That is part of the synchronicity, right? Trust your inner intuition. Trust any ideas that start to pop up into your head. Any sensations in your body. If you are meeting with someone, if you are headed somewhere and you start to think, I just feel their energy is really harsh. We always kind of seem to argue. Is it even really worth it? Your inner guidance is real. That's your compass. Trust it, right? Hikers, when they are out in the woods and they have a compass, they don't not trust it, right? It's almost like all your trust is in your compass. You don't disbelieve the tools or the GPS that you use. And for some reason, as human beings, it's like the one thing that we never seem to trust is ourselves. We trust our gadgets, like our GPS, our compass, the map, our friends, our loved ones, right? We listen to so much of what they say, and we put so much stock into what they say and believed and know, quotes, what they know. But yet, when it comes to our own inner guiding system, we are always in doubt. And this is asking you this week, trust it, because not only is that part of the synchronicity, but it will push you into more synchronistic events. All right, let's see what the second message from Archangel Michael is. All right, there you go. Shield yourself. I always just think it's so funny that this angel is Asian, just because I'm half Asian, it just cracks me up. Okay. Shield yourself, right? So I know some people who are going to immediately jump to messages like this, like, someone is sending me negative energy, or there's dark stuff being, sent my way. No, it doesn't. This doesn't mean that anyone is trying to deliberately send negative vibes your way. What this usually means is shield yourself from any harsh energies that you will encounter on a day-to-day basis. If you have a close friend or a loved one, right? That tends to get very riled up easily. Let me give you an example. Say you have a friend who is a parent. Let's just use a mother or a father, right? And they call you and they are concerned, but they're always like at this like level of like, this is of a dire importance, right? But you get that kind of a message or phone call like on a weekly basis, right? There's something of dire importance every week. Don't get caught up in it. Shield yourself, right? Ask Archangel Michael to please clear and protect my energy. Shield yourself. Imagine that beautiful golden bubble around you where nothing can penetrate but divine love, right? Not necessarily because there's negative energy directed towards you, but you just don't need to get caught up in someone else's issues. You don't need to get caught up in someone else's frustration or anger. If you have somebody that comes home at the end of the day, right, and they are carrying into the house all the frustrations of the day, all the anger of the day, right? You don't want to get caught up in that, because that just kind of like becomes that self-licking ice cream cone, you know, where they'll be upset and then you pick up on that energy and then you get upset. So shield yourself this week so that you can remain in that state of peace. That's maybe what it is. There is a moment of, I feel like it's going to be a very peaceful week energetically wise. Okay. Last card. Peace isn't the right word, I'm not really sure. You created this situation and you have the power to change it. Wow. So the first thing that came through with that card, although it does apply to us each individually, and more often it does, I got a sense that that card meant on a much larger scale than you individually. Locally, state, nationally, globally. We have gotten ourselves to where we are now, and we are the ones that have the power to change it, right? Just like the example of a spouse coming home after a long day of work and having like a lot of nasty energy. It's not even theirs maybe, but they're still attached to it, and they bring it into the house, right? It's your free will to choose to get caught up in that energy or not. So now if you apply that to a much larger scale, it's our free will to decide if we choose to get caught up in frustration, anger, hopelessness that we are picking up through current events, right? We can change it by holding space. The same way that you hold space when a spouse comes home from work and you stay. Imagine yourself, this is how I see it actually. You remain this like lit vessel holding that light, a keeper of light, right? And that nothing can get in it, but you are a clear vessel holding light. And if you allow yourself to get caught up in other people's frustrations, then this empty vessel gets filled with their energy. But if each of us is able to continue to hold space, to hold light, be a keeper of light, then we are changing our situation. We are changing the energy and the environment, because sooner or later, those individuals that come home will decompress, will go back to normal, right? And then it will be like, I'm not even really sure what the word is, more level of a playing field, right? It's like things will go back down to the normal state that it's supposed to be in. So keep your eyes and ears open this week for messages that you see out in nature. Maybe you've been thinking about revamping your blog, right? But it's kind of been on the back burner. And then maybe a friend or a coworker or a parent, you know, out of the blue, someone says, hey, what's that link to your blog? And And it's kind of giving you that nudge to go ahead and finish the blog website that you've been working on. That's an example of a synchronistic event, right? So pay attention to them, notice them, and recognize that is a nudge from heaven working through the hearts and minds of other individuals here on earth. And with that, I hope that you guys have a beautiful week. I hope that you are able to see the good things that are starting to come to you, and that you are able to maintain peace in your heart, hold space, and maintain a keeper of light. God bless you guys. Bye.